All right, so I had a whole plan for the podcast today. Not today, this week. The plan was I was going to record a bunch of like little 1-minute segments, a little bit every day to put it together. And I did that for about 2 or 3 days, and then I realized, you know what, I can't do that because I'm trying to. Here's my realization: I'm trying to cut out the crap so that there's only quality. So the podcast is just wall-to-wall quality, and it's not just me rambling nonsense for an hour. But I realized that I think part of what I need to do, and I felt like I was articulating this so much better in my mind than right now, but I think I need to show the failures as much as the successes. And that's either me being vulnerable or it's a sheer lack of quality control. We'll find out. Judging by the listenership, it may be the latter. But I'm realizing I have to sit down. I have to do this all in one shot, and on my phone. I bought this lovely equipment, and the trouble is right now, for some reason, my computer is crashing randomly every 10 minutes or so. So I can't relax while I'm recording on the computer. What I probably should do is I should probably get one of those nicer one of those nicer digital recorders and just do that. I'm also walking as I'm doing this. I like walking while doing it. It helps me think. I don't like sitting while doing it. I really hate podcasting. I do. I can't. I mean, I listen to them, but I wouldn't listen to this. And so if you are listening to this, I appreciate it. But I need to listen. I only want to listen to celebrities, and I'm not a celebrity. But the challenge right now is that, I'm walking around the neighborhood. There are people around, and I think this is progress. But I'm getting more comfortable doing this with other people potentially listening, because to them it just looks like I'm on the phone, which I am. They don't need to know I'm just talking to myself, or I'm talking and recording it, and you may be hearing it, who knows, next week, next year. So it's a delayed conversation is all it is. It's a conversation with a potential infinite delay. What a great name. There's the title of this episode. Conversation with an infinite delay. Love it. I'm also trying to speak more on voice. Try not to be so hushed. I got to work on that, so that way I can be more present vocally, and therefore more emotionally present. And do that while I'm walking. And as you can tell, I'm not in shape enough to do both. My body's like, pick one, podcast or walk. Can't do both at the same time. Everyone has a Tesla. I don't, but I see so many Teslas now that I think I would if I could, probably. It is kind of weird that everything is digital now, so I think even in the Tesla, someone was showing me that when you're shifting from park to drive, it's all on the screen. I like a physical thing. I like a gear, a throttle, a thing. I like knowing that I'm pushing it, and it's and gears are turning, and something's spinning, and there's a very sound. I need that. I don't like it's all on computers now. I don't like that. And I know that makes me sound old. And, 20 years from now, people are going to say, oh, yeah, you just think it and it happens. I don't like that. I need my buttons. Maybe I should embrace it. Everything is a touch screen now. I mean, and for me, even my relationships are a touch screen at this point. My parents are, I talk to them on the phone. The phone is the primary, for me, it's my primary access to all of my relationships. If I'm on Tinder, there's that too. It's ridic. I don't know. I'm a mess. A total recluse. Got really sick last night, not to my stomach. Not sure what did it. I'll tell you, I had a bunch of sugar-free chocolates. I think that's what did it. I think that was my body going, don't you do this to me. If you're going to eat sweets, it needs to be the real McCoy. None of this pseudo-sweet thing. Sugar-free, get out of my face. It's all or nothing. I really believe my body was punishing me for those. I think that's what it was. I'll have to make a TikTok video about that. I sit at home all day and I make TikTok video about my bowels. I wonder why I'm not a social media star. I wonder why it hasn't really connected. And the stand-up lately has been strange. I've been really just trying to be vulnerable, stop performing, just talk to the audience, have a conversation with them, and it's been... I don't know how it's going. Yeah, I think it's me trying to let go of the stand-up comedian that I want to be, and I guess embracing who I am. I just wish there were jokes involved. I think that's necessary. That would be useful, or I wish that it could be codified into, what's the word for it? An act? But maybe I just have to let go and trust that it will. Maybe not only in the performing, but even the writing. Got to let go there too, because the substance of this is that I got to answer the question: why have I only had? Why am I not in a relationship? Why am I really not in a relationship? Well, because I'm not trying. Why am I not trying? Because I'm too afraid of all the consequences of the things that can and will go wrong. And too afraid to be injured. Too afraid to be hurt, and too afraid to hurt. That I will be hurt. Yeah, that's all there is to it. Afraid that no one wants to be with someone who's depressed. That's my assumption. No one wants to be with someone who's depressed all the time. Of course, it never occurred to me that maybe the reason I'm depressed is because I'm lonely. If I wasn't lonely, maybe I wouldn't be depressed anymore. I highly doubt that. I've met too many people to know that no human on earth is going to cure this depression. It's beyond anyone. So I have to assume then that this is a choice. Being alone is a choice. Being with people, it takes an enormous amount of work emotionally that I just don't want to put the time into. And I'm not feeling triumphant about it. I'm not happy about it. There's some people who are content. No, I love being alone. No, I hate it. It'd be nice to have someone there who could, just take my side. I just take my side in an argument. That's really, even if I'm wrong, then that's the problem. Like the person, inevitably, the person I'm with is not going to take my side if I'm wrong. So I guess I'm looking for a yes man. I should probably also address my bisexuality. I hate when I was growing up, people were saying, there's no such thing as bisexuality. You're just gay and in denial. I don't know, I've never been with a guy. Maybe I am in denial. I mean, I've had sex with one person. It was a woman. Why do I keep saying girl? I'm 40. It was a woman. And it was fun. But maybe I need to try with a guy to really know for sure. My fear is I won't like it with anybody. Maybe the issue is I need to try it with someone I'm actually in love with. How about that? Have a genuine connection with. The thing I came to realize was that sex seems to me that it can become like anything else. If I have an unhealthy relationship with sex, it can become an addiction. Ultimately something that's hollow. And no matter how many times I have it, it doesn't really fill what needs to be filled. And I don't mean to be making all these double entendres, but that's what happens when I'm talking about sex. That's ultimately what I realized, that the thought of having it was more fun than the having it. And I thought to myself, okay, either I need to cultivate a relationship with this person or I need to stop, because I feel like they deserve better. And so I stopped. The one relationship I almost had. So am I just avoiding pain? And like literally, I have a joke in my act. It's like, don't go through. I'd say, I heard this quote that said, "Don't go through life trying to avoid getting your heart broken, because we'll only break from loneliness anyway." And I tell people, based on that quote, go out tonight, meet someone, get laid tonight, because if you do, it will be because of a quote from Star Trek Deep Space Nine. And as soon as I say it's from Deep Space Nine, everyone laughs. Usually, it's a joke that hits, most of the time. But it's a good quote. And there's something to be said from that. But then I say to myself, well, people, I shouldn't get into a relationship in order to cure myself. Yes. I should not get into a relationship to cure myself. Because the other thing I heard, this was from a professor who told me that I should be in a relationship because I want to share my life with someone, not because I need them or they need me. Which I think is a brilliant analysis. It's a brilliant way of looking at relationships. Now, the question is, am I ever going to be emotionally mature enough to get there? Well, no. That's a $64,000 question, isn't it? I need to accept the fact that this podcast is for me, and I need to be okay with that. And I think I need to stop trying to make it anything else other than what it is, which is me just trying to get my thoughts in order, trying to figure myself out. Because I'll tell you, I don't want to have another person on this. I don't want to figure it out with someone else, which could explain why I'm single. Of course, on the other hand, I mean, does anyone ever get it totally figured out? Tell me I need to wait until enlightenment to be in a relationship? Because that it may never happen then. Then there's the spiritual angle. So I read the book The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. And in the book, which is, I think, a metaphor for following your dreams, the kid's looking for the treasure. He's on the hunt. The whole book is about him on the hunt for this treasure. And halfway through, he meets someone. He meets a woman. And she says, you could let go of trying to search for the treasure and be with me, but I think you would never be satisfied. So you need to go find the treasure, and then when you find the treasure, come get me. Now, I feel like the shallow way of interpreting that is she's basically saying, don't come back unless you've got money. I'm not supporting you. Don't come back unless you've got a plan. But then, it occurs to me that maybe that's not such a shallow thing to say. A lot of relationships fall apart because of money. That's what my mother told me. She said that 3 aspects of all relationships: the physical, the emotional, mental, and money. And even in nature, there's a bird. The male of the species builds the nest, and the females will inspect the nest, and only if they are satisfied with the nest will they then mate with the male. And I'm like, that seems vaguely familiar to many of the situations I've observed in the human world. And, I think there's all this snobbery about that. Oh, well, yeah, she's a gold digger. Or, he's only, and I don't know, is it that reductive? Because on the other end of the spectrum, we got to eat. Someone's got to have a plan. I'm, barely taking care of myself here. I really don't feel, I certainly am in no position to support a family. Not really on one other person. We'd have to, be very, very careful with the money. So that's part of it. I mean, that exists. Well, what about just hooking up? What about casual sex? What about it? What about it? I don't know. It seems like a lot more work. It doesn't seem very casual to me, even when it's casual. Because first of all, I don't, did she have feelings for me that were more? I'm worried that she did. And then I don't have feelings for her, so I'm sitting here like, well, this feels. Am I hurting? I'm hurting her if it's not at the same level. So there's that concern. Like, I don't know. I can't be casual about it. I find it difficult to be casual about it. I can't help but wonder if it's a myth. I think it's casual for one person. It's casual for one, and it's, in quotation marks, casual for another. Or it's casual for one and a disaster for another. Or it's a disaster for both. But you know what? I can't, the problem now is that I'm generalizing. I can only speak from my own experience. For me, I got too scared of what was happening. Maybe it's because I'm a control freak, and I felt like I was out of control of the situation. That's entirely possible. So I stopped it, and I haven't been in a relation. I haven't even tried to be in a relationship since. I tried once. I asked someone out. They said no. I felt relief. So that, what does that tell you? So I'm very conflicted. A part of me wants to be in a relationship. A part of me doesn't want to be in a relationship. I don't want to be in a relationship until it's the right circumstances. What are the right circumstances? I don't know. It may not happen until about 5 years after I'm dead. But, better that than not the right circumstances. Talking about this, I'm feeling literally panicked. And I'm suddenly wondering, am I having a heart attack? And that I don't know what it is. I'm probably malnourished. I didn't eat much today because I got sick yesterday. I just have this sense not to eat meat. I think it's the meat that's doing it. Every time lately I've gotten sick to my stomach, meat or fish have been involved. So I'm going to see if I just stick to the veggies, the fruits, and the starches. Maybe that'll keep me feeling well. That's my hope anyway. Well, it's supposed to be a comedy model. This is supposed to be a comedy podcast. But maybe my only hope is that my sheer disaster of a personal life will bring you at least some form of entertainment of some kind. But maybe we got to get to the truth of it. I am choosing not to be in a relationship 99% of the time. And the dogs are barking at me because I'm podcasting. It's probably a no podcasting neighborhood. And now every dog down the line is barking. I've caused the entire neighborhood to start barking because I've been podcasting. They get a knock on the door. Were you from the police? Were you podcasting last night? We've gotten several complaints. We have some podcast sniffing dogs. They're smelling, and they can smell how long you talk to yourself in a room alone. And for you, this is pretty. We're gonna have to write a ticket. That's why I prefer cats to dogs. I feel like cats are much less overtly dramatic. I feel like if I walk into a cat's territory, they're not going to make any noise. They're just going to sneak up behind me and slit my throat. And it's so much more subtle. Don't have to cause a ruckus. Just poison my drink. And then a day later I wake up dead and everyone's like, who did it? Cat's like, I don't know. I wasn't there. I was asleep. Don't look at me. It's a tragedy. It's a tragedy. What's for dinner? I think I'll eat meat. Unlike some dead people, I can handle the meat. I don't know what it is lately, but it's anything meat related. I pooping my brains out. Pooping my brains out. I don't know. Well, okay. This is me being vulnerable. That's what that was on my vision board for this year. Vulnerability. Let's do vulnerability, see what happens. People respond to it. That's the big thing I'm going through. There's the comedian I want to be and the comedian I am. And when I'm vulnerable, people seem more interested. It's unfortunate. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's the journey, man. Maybe the problem is I'm not vulnerable enough in life, and so I have to get more vulnerable in life in order to be more vulnerable on stage, in order to be more compelling on stage and make more connections on stage and ultimately be funnier on stage. I just have to become a better person. That's unfortunate. There you go. There you go. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. This feels good. Yeah, this is good. This is good enough. All right.